So President Trump recently shared an AI generated video of what it would look like if Gaza were redeveloped and turned into Trump Gaza. Regardless of who you vote for, as Christians, I think it's important for us to call out sin and nonsense, regardless of political affiliation. I find a post like that to be very insensitive, albeit I'm sure it's just trolling and trying to get a reaction out of the political opponents. I get that. And so when you see stuff like that, it's easy to have a reaction one way or the other. Maybe something like that makes you really angry, or maybe you find it funny. I don't know. But anytime a world leader shares something like that, that is meant to stir up a reaction, I tend to think of this verse in Hebrews chapter 12. It says, we should look to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. And then later in verse 28, therefore let us be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, and thus let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. And so I would say in these times that are highly politically charged and big division, that as Christians we need to fix our eyes on Jesus, to offer worship with reverence and awe to God, and to really just focus on what it would look like to live a life that glorifies Jesus. And so when we do that, and we're able to recognize when something is worldly, when something is not of God, when something doesn't glorify God. And remember, verse 28, we have a kingdom that cannot be shaken, and our God is a consuming fire. So it doesn't matter what political happenings goes on in this world, doesn't matter what big development may or may not ever come to fruition. All of that is going to come crumbling down with the return of Christ, and he's going to establish his kingdom, one that cannot be shaken. And that's the hope that we have as Christians, that if we are in Christ, we inherit this kingdom that cannot be shaken. So regardless of where you stand politically, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. Give him your worship daily, and remember the hope we have in a kingdom that cannot be shaken.